Hey, I'm Alex Ratcliffe from Board Game Co., and with Essen 2024 coming up barely a month away, it's time to start the first of several lists highlighting some of those Essen games. This time we're going to be focusing specifically on expansions. I have 15 expansions I'm focusing on. Some we've talked about on the channel before, some is the first time we're talking about them, some you probably know about, and others you don't yet know exist. And you can go ahead and check out all of these over on the Board Game Geek Essen 2024 preview list, and you can go ahead and use filters. We'll talk about this in every video. You can use filters to get whatever you need, but one of those filters is expansions. You can search for either standalone games or expansions. You can search by language, by demo, by price. You can do all of that filtering. I went ahead and went through the expansions and chose the 15 that I want to focus on today. Some of them I know a little bit more about, some of them a little less so, but let's start off with the very first one, number 15, which is going to be Faraway. Faraway, I'm not sure. This is non-English language version of this one. The English language one should come out at some point, but right now this is the first version of the game. In theory, it should be compatible, but the exact printing differences, there might be like some small nuanced aspect of the cards, like if you don't sleeve your cards, you might notice some small differences. The game is language independent, so that shouldn't be an issue. So you may or may not want to pick up this game, but this one basically gives you new cards for Faraway. There's a new set of cards for Faraway. If you enjoy Faraway, I highly recommend it. You can check out the review on the channel. Really enjoy this game, but the new cards give you just more cards, more options, more numbers, more things that are going on as you go through the game, and this also allows you to play Faraway with a 7th player as well. So just more Faraway cards, a small mini expansion giving you more content. I love Faraway, and to some extent I should say, most of these are ranked in order of least to most excited on my personal excitement level. This one happens to be very far at the end because I'm not sure if it really adds to the gameplay, or it's more about that 7-player capacity. There are new cards, you can see them right there, but it seems to be small gameplay aspects and then the ability to play with a 7th player. From there, for number 14, we're going to have Nucleum Court of Progress. This one is lower down for me because I still haven't played my copy of Nucleum, which means I think almost everything else we're talking about today I've played. I think I may not own some of them, but at least I've played most. Oh no, there's one I haven't played. There's one more I haven't played. Either way, we're going to get to that. But with Nucleum, I still have the base game, still have not tabled it, so I don't know enough about the expansions, but Nucleum Court of Progress will be giving you several changes to the gameplay. Seems to be a modular approach, not entirely sure, but it's going to be an expansion to give you just more stuff for Nucleum, which is an incredibly popular game by David Turczi, by Bird and Dice. It seems to be generally very well received, and has had several expansions so far. Our number 14 is Nucleum Court of Progress. Coming in number 13, we have Imperial Miners, Aztecs vs. Weirdlings. If you haven't played Imperial Miners from Portal Games, this is basically a game where you're digging out a mine further and further, and the cards are getting better and better as you go further down, so the game escalates because every single time you place a new card, you kind of work your way back up to the top following a chain of taking actions, which means your action gets stronger and stronger and stronger across the course of playing the 10 cards into your mine. This expansion is adding 2 new factions to the game. The original Imperial Miners has a whole bunch of factions, all giving you different little vibes of what you're trying to go for or do in the game, and this one gives you Aztecs vs. Weirdlings, just 2 new expansions, a simple, easy to incorporate expansion to Imperial Miners from Portal Games. So like, there's some components over here, you can see the cards and whatnot, but again, you have more mine cards, more further digging down deeper into the mine, and more ways to combine the different specialties that each mine, that each faction kind of brings to the gameplay experience. From there we have 2 expansions, Deep Rock Galactic Biome expansion and Deep Rock Galactic Space Week expansion. Both these expansions are going to be the newest from their most recent crowdfunding campaign, and they are, I guess, arriving, delivering, available now, but they're basically giving you more content for Deep Rock Galactic, a game I have played and need to play more, but effectively they're giving you more enemies to fight against, more biomes to play in, more cards to play, more missions to go through. Just tons of more content for a game that has already been incredibly well received, incredibly well liked, and this is just more content for that game experience. Moving on from there, at number 11, what are we up to? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. And coming in at number 11, we have Nekojima Tori Pack. This is another small expansion, nothing crazy over here, but it's giving you a new thing to be modded. Nekojima comes from Hachette, I believe. Nekojima is one that is going to have you trying to balance your cats on these electrical poles, be mindful of the various wires and how they all cross. It's a dexterity game with gameplay mechanisms to anchor you to the game, but a lot of things going on that are more dexterity based in the nature, and it again has generally been well received. This is going to giving you a new sacred gateway that you have to be mindful of in the game, as well as the famous fortune-bringing cat, the Manake Neko, that roams from district to district. So basically just small modular expansions to Nekojima. Again, another small mini expansion. Coming in at 10, we have the White Castle Matcha. The White Castle from Devir Games. The White Castle Matcha gives you a new location in the game. It's going to give you a tea room where you're going to have members of your clan in the tea room that will give you greater influence across the course of the game, plus, most importantly for me, giving you 1 extra action each round. White Castle is an incredibly tight game. The idea of getting a full extra action in the round, I mean, what is that? I think that's extends the game by like it gives you 25% more. No, 33% more. It gives you 33% more things to do in the game. That's a lot going on for a game that only has a handful of actions. A full extra action each round, combined with those new gameplay elements, just gives you a lot more things to consider as you go through this incredibly tight game for Navier Games. Coming in at number 9, we have Ticket to Ride Map Collection 8, Iberia and South Korea. Ticket to Ride has no shortage of content by now. It is the game that keeps on giving. It's just like Pandemic. You cannot count the amount of content for this game, from small mini expansions to standalone stuff to the legacy game. And now we have the Map Collection 8 giving you Iberia and South Korea, 2 new locations to the game. Iberia is going to give you a little bit of a festivals going on in the game, with festivals stacking up around various locations that you can collect and gather points for those. And then, what's it called? South Korea over here is giving you group locations by color, as well as express trains. So you're going to have these all, if you see the map over here, everything's kind of grouped by color, but there's ways that as you build different routes, you can get locations in other areas, and you also have express trains as well, giving you +1s, +2, and +3 as you build across South Korea. Coming number 8, I believe, we have SkyTeam Turbulence. SkyTeam Turbulence is, again, another small mini expansion, although small is relative because this one gives you 20 new scenarios to SkyTeam. More content, more modules, more things to do, more little mini puzzles as you play through the 2-player cooperative game that is SkyTeam, but this time with 20 new scenarios, again, new rules and new modules and new content. So not just mixing and matching things, but new elements. It looks like you have penguins over here, some bells. These all look like new components over here for the game. This is, again, a small, simple expansion, straightforward, a small box expansion for a small game that has been incredibly well received and just giving you more content for that experience. Coming at number 7, we have Ancient Knowledge Heritage. Ancient Knowledge Heritage is coming to you with 2 new things. First of all, with 36 new cards and 36 new builder cards and 12 new technology cards, giving you more card variety to the gameplay experience. But then also 16 solo modes that let you play through a solo campaign in the game. So you're getting a lot more content for this game, both in terms of the genuine, actual just content, the cards and the technologies and all those things, but then also the new solo mode that gives you a campaign option to play through the game. If you've enjoyed Ancient Knowledge and you want another way to play it, this is going to give you, well, both more and differences to the gameplay experience. Coming in, I believe at number 7, I've been losing track over here, I think number 7, we have the Veil of Eternity Artifacts. The Veil of Eternity from Renegade Games has generally been a very well received game. It's one that I've played several times. I plan on reviewing it on the channel at some point, haven't gotten around to it yet, but I overall enjoy this game. It's very much about building a tableau across 10 rounds, although realistically speaking, it goes to 60 points, which often happens before the 10 rounds are up. Players are trying to build a tableau, score as many points as possible, and try to combine different things as they figure out the right combination of card abilities that are going to drive them further ahead in the game. It's all about those card combination abilities and finding which cards, as you place down your little tokens to lock in these cards, and then choose whether to sell them or tame these creatures. The game's going to be giving you a bunch of new creatures in the game. You're going to be getting 28 new creature cards in the game, but you're also getting, in addition to the 28 new creature cards, you're also going to be getting new artifacts in the game. New artifact location or relics, I think they're artifacts. Artifacts over here, which are going to give you the ability to activate different artifacts, but you have to activate different artifacts each round, so you're going to have new abilities from these artifacts, plus the 28, I think I said, 28 new creatures, giving you more variety of the gameplay experience. That's the Veil of Eternity Artifacts. Coming at number, I've lost track now, what are we up to over here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, I guess. Are we up to 5? Did I miss one at one point? Coming at number 5, I guess we have Aquatica Coral Reefs. Aquatica Coral Reefs is going to be the newest expansion to Aquatica. I've had a chance to play this already, although this is a modular expansion. I haven't played with all the modules. But the biggest module is going to be the Coral Reefs, the named expansion, which gives you new ways to earn these coral reefs in the game, and then to spend these coral reefs as well. And so you're trying to figure out the right way, the additional options in the game as you earn and spend this new economy in the game, while being mindful of the new cards you gather and how they affect it. They're going to give you coral reefs you can gather. Be mindful of the new locations. Be mindful of the new way it works when you scout and when you move things around. So there's a lot of small new edge case things going on in the game, all centered around this new currency, this coral reefs. And again, that's just one of the modules, or the core module of the game. I have not played through all of these, but this is going to be another expansion to Aquatica, one of my favorite games. Coming in at number 4 over here, there's the coral reefs over here, you can see some of those. Coming in at number 4, we have Evenfall. Evenfall, the Crystal Path. Evenfall is already a great game. Again, another one I have to review on the channel, but it's already a great game of combining cards in tons of different ways. It's all about the card combinations in the game. If you like games like Wayfarers, like Vindication, like I don't know, Everdell, or any of these types of games where it's all about the way your cards combine and help you in the game, Evenfall very much has that element. And the Crystal Path is going to give you 2 new clans to the game, as well as new ritual specialists and places of power. So it's basically just tons of more content for the game, as well as a new catalyst that's going to be in the game, the Crystal and whatnot, hence the name of the expansion. But the game is going to be modularly integrated into the base game, but it gives you a lot more content for Evenfall if you've been enjoying that one and want more content. Coming in number 3, we have the Forest Shuffle, the Woodland Edge. One I mentioned already, this is already available at Gen Con, but Forest Shuffle, the Woodland Edge is giving you new cards to introduce to your game of Forest Shuffle. Forest Shuffle is a game about trying to build up these various trees and then placing various cards around those trees. This is going to give you new trees, new species of trees, new cards in the game. So I don't know if there are any main gameplay mechanics of the game. I have not had a chance to play this one, but it gives you more content. So if you've started to find the patterns that you get locked into, whether it's all those little rabbits and the wolves together, whether it's the elk in the game, or the birds, or below cards, above cards, whatever it is you've already started to learn to do in this game, this is basically just giving you more things you can learn to do in the game, because there are much more things to do once you add Forest Shuffle Woodland Edge to the experience. Coming in number 2, we have Planet Unknown Supermoon. Planet Unknown Supermoon is going to be Planet Unknown is a polyomino game from Adam's Apples Games, in which you're placing polyominoes down onto this various spaceboard. You're going to be gathering different planets, you're going to be gathering different corporations, combining those two to give you your unique puzzle, your unique combination of what you're doing in the game. Or you can play with symmetrical stuff instead, the symmetrical basic planet, basic corporation, and you're trying to figure out, combining the basic goals and the way your planet scores points as it fills up, you're trying to figure out how to get as many points as possible in Planet Unknown. Supermoon is going to be adding a new moon to the locations. You have a new moon on your planet. I don't have any pictures, unfortunately, over here. We have a new moon on the planet, and that moon gives you a new place to place your polyominoes, and a new way it integrates into the way it's going to help your core map, your core planet in the game. The game is going to be a little longer because of that, giving you more things to do in the game, more ways to try to consider what you're trying to get. There's going to be salvage tiles, there's going to be a new planet and a new corporation in the game as well. So you're getting new content for the game to mix up the experience in a basic way, as well as new elements that are going to change the way you play that. And then coming in at number 1, we have Acropolis Athena over here. Acropolis Athena is an expansion to Acropolis, a game that I've loved, but I said in my review I need an expansion. The game's too straightforward and too basic at what it's doing. I need an expansion to figure out where Acropolis is going to be. It's a game that was initially rated a 5 out of 5. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I love the gameplay experience. I did say I'm concerned about longevity, and over time it has shifted down. Right now it's probably a 4.5, maybe even a 4, because it is a game that the more I played it, the more I felt I saw everything in the game. And so this expansion is one of the ones I'm most excited for, because it's going to hopefully elevate a game I already love further back up to where it was. This is going to be giving you constructions you're trying to work on in the game. These constructions are going to be something else to focus on as you play, some new patterns to build your tiles. In addition to the basic way the tiles are going to score, you're going to be trying to build these out in new different ways to fulfill these constructions. And as you can see over here, you also have these multicolored tiles. So there's new components, new constructions, new things for you to think about as you try to figure out the most efficient way for you to win as you play through Acropolis. And so Acropolis Athena is easily my most looking forward to, the expansion I'm most looking forward to from all the expansions coming out at Essen 2024. And that's what we have over here. 15 expansions to whet your appetite. 15 expansions for games you already enjoy in some cases, or 15 games that to try out in case you haven't tried out any of these games. All of these games, well, most of these games I own, some of these games I've played and enjoyed, and a few of these I still, specifically Nekojima and Nucleum, I still need to get around to tabling before I start talking too much about expansions. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.